I got a chance to watch an early screening of Channing Tatum's new movie, Roofman, and we need to talk about it. Now, this movie is actually based on a true story about Jeffrey Manchester, who was coined the name Roofman because he would break into different businesses, specifically McDonald's and Burger King's, through the roofs of them and steal their money by holding up people up and putting them into the walk-in freezer, then calling the police so that way no one was actually hurt. He was literally just stealing the money. He does inevitably get caught, but then he escapes from prison, and that is like the bulk of the story that we're on for this movie. The main bulk of the movie is actually Jeffrey Manchester, who escapes prison and has to lay low, so he finds the closest spot he can see, and it's a Toys R Us. And he ends up holding up inside of a Toys R Us secretly. No one knows he's there for months. And while he's laying low, he realizes that people are kind of forgetting about him over the next weeks or maybe months. And so he actually does feel like he can freely walk around, and he ends up meeting somebody in the town, even though he's a wanted man and he needs to get out of town ASAP. If none of that intrigues you to go watch this movie, maybe this will. It's actually set up as a comedy and find yourself kind of movie, and it's brilliantly done. The only critique I would actually have about the movie is that it's basically glorifying what this man did. And it is a crime, and he did some pretty bad stuff, but he is a really nice guy. And that's kind of like what everyone keeps talking about, is that in real life, he is a nice guy. He just got dealt a bad hand, and he did what he did just to survive. There's actually an interview with Channing Tatum when he talks about how he had a conversation with Jeffrey Manchester to prepare for this role. And he even said that he's a nice guy and he doesn't really agree with what he did, but he also doesn't think he should be sentenced for how long he's going to be in prison. Channing Tatum hasn't had a lot of like real serious roles. And although this is a comedy, this is more of a serious role for him. And I think he absolutely crushed it. This is some of the best acting I've seen out of him. And when it comes to Kristen Dunst, she's just an amazing actress. Everything she's in is really good, and this movie is no different. I would have to say my biggest shout out when it comes to acting has to be Peter Dinklage, though, because this is such an out of pocket character for him to play. And I think I loved every second of it. Like, if you compare this role compared to his Game of Thrones character, it's night and day. And this was really refreshing to see him in a role like this. This movie comes out this weekend on the 10th, so be sure to grab a ticket and check this one out because it is a fun ride.